Hello, I'm Taejun, and some of you who watched my last video might know, but I'm on a project where I receive business problems and fix them. Thankfully, a travel agency in Morocco, restructured, which means off the beaten path in French, gave me some mission to solve. Well, the true story is that my girlfriend is working for the company and was on the business trip, and I followed, even though I'm not working for the company. Anyway, they were managing their customer all manually with an Excel sheet and paper, and the problem was, since Morocco became a popular destination for French people, demand was increasing and it was starting to be hard to manage. He tried some CRM tools, but it wasn't really fit for the nature of his work. So what they tried was Notion, but Notion has a bit of learning curve. They're busy earning money, so they had no time to study how to use Notion. But me, I have. So here's my real training, converting vague complaint into solvable problem. So what is their complaint? First, hotels sometimes ask us the list of the travelers booked in a month, and sometimes we forget what we booked, and sometimes we forget the booking we were supposed to cancel. Hard to manage. We made calendar view in Notion, but it is not easy to see. We want global view of schedule we have to manage, but it's hard with current UI. There are several documents we have to create each stage, but creating similar documents over and over and putting them on Notion one by one is super exhausting. Okay, 3 complaints. Now let me show you how I process them. When I looked at their setup, hotels guide drivers didn't exist as their own thing in their system. They were just text typed manually into each row of the customer table. So when a hotel asked who is staying with us in April, they had to scroll through everything and check one by one. The second complaint, the calendar. The way they manage schedule is each day of a trip is a separate entry because the hotel guide and driver can change day by day. So they couldn't make it one continuous schedule. But because each day is its own row, the same customer doesn't stay on one line. It keeps jumping around. It cannot fix Notion calendar UI. Nobody can. Well, of course Notion can. But I can build a separate website. The question is, should I? Because adding another tool means that there's another tab they have to open. So whatever I build, it has to live inside Notion. They open Notion in the morning and they shouldn't have to leave. Now, here is where I had to think carefully. For the document and schedule creation, I could use AI. Read the Google Doc, auto-generate everything, sound cool, very trendy. But wait, does this really need AI? If I restructure their Notion properly, what if they create the proposition directly inside Notion? Then I wire everything so it automatically flows to the calendar. And for the client-facing document, no AI needed. But that means changing their workflow. And here is the thing, I don't want to do that unless it is clearly worth it. These people have been running their business fine. They know their process. Coming in and saying change how you work is the best way to build something that nobody uses. So I gave the client 2 options. First, they don't have to change their workflow, but it costs money every month. Second, change the workflow a bit. The problem can be solved without AI. Cheaper, simpler. And they choose option 2. First, I created entity database to manage hotels, guide, drivers. They had all this information scattered in Google spreadsheet already, so I imported it. Now, every hotel, every guide, every driver has its own page. You go to the hotel page, you see all the bookings related to that hotel. On the calendar, I replaced the hotel, guide, driver columns with formulas that pull automatically from the connected data. No more typing the same hotel name 50 times. I added a plans database to track all reservations and bookings per customer connected to the calendar database. Before, they were duplicating the same information across the process. For each customer page, you can now manage internal tasks, plan the trip, assign hotels and guide directly, and generate documents. I also integrated Slack so they can track tasks without checking Notion constantly. But there were 3 things I couldn't do inside Notion, so I built server. Not an expensive one, not AWS. Railway might work, maybe serverless. It would cost less than $1. In fact, it costs $1.22 US. So when a prospect confirmed, it needs to create each day of the trip on the calendar automatically. Notion automation doesn't allow loops. They did everything they could to block it. My server handles the recursive creation. I built a password-protected web page showing the calendar compact and clean. Hover to see detailed information. Click to go to directly to the original Notion page, and I embedded it back inside Notion. I had to finish some of the work after returning from the trip. I sent them a how-to video for the new features, and I received my first review. So he's saying, I really appreciate the quietness coming from our new management of current tours. Almost not a single mail or call from providers and clients since we have implemented a more systemic and reliable preparation of those tours. That also gives a very good image to both categories. Many customers thank me for my high professionalism through Julie's assistance as well as your new tools. And suppliers trust us even a bit more, which helps when there is any kind of issue with them. My girlfriend had to pay for my trip, but he gave her a bonus worth more than that. I'm still looking for the problems to see if I can solve them with my skills, so you don't have to subscribe, you don't have to like this video, but please, if there is anything bothering you in life, in work, whatever, even if it looks a bit stupid, please share it with me through the problem box in the description. Thank you.